Hey everybody, this is Miguel at Inverness Vineyard Church, sitting here with Kim, and we wanted to share with you an idea that we have been developing here as we've noticed our social distancing practices, which have been good, kept us healthy and safe, that kind of thing, have turned into something a bit different, where our connections are really quite distant, if you would.
Yeah, and community is so critical. God created us in His image to be in community, and so it's essential. It's essential for so many different reasons, for our spiritual health, for our mental health, just relationally. So it's really important that we start to strengthen those connections as we are in this season.
Right, and we realize that for many small groups, it's hard to meet. So several groups are meeting in Zoom, some are meeting in person, some are trying to find the dynamic, especially as it's getting colder. People are not really willing to sit outside in the freezing cold. And so what we thought was, what if we as a church kind of came up with a system to provide a content and context for all of us to share, so that small group leaders can use this, individuals simply can use this as their own personal study, and then if they're not in a small group, maybe get 2 or 3 people to have something to talk about in Scripture as you're doing all the other stuff, like just talking about life things.
Right, but this way, what we can do is we can actually go deeper and unpack what Miguel's been already teaching on Sunday, go deeper and wrestle together in a small group context. Like, how do I live this out in community? How do I live this in my family or in my neighborhood? So I think this is going to be a really fun way to kind of wrestle and ask those hard questions. And you guys get to see an inside peek in what we're thinking and how we engage with this as a community here on staff as well. So your sermon series is, it's about being blessed. That's the word God gave for you, for our church, for this season. And you started in Matthew, and so I guess to start off, why Matthew?
Well, you know, as we said on Matthew is this great bridging book, the story of the life of Jesus through the apostle, of this, the way in which he laid it out. It was a bridge for the Old Testament to come into the New Testament, or Jewish listeners to be able to understand that Jesus was the Messiah that they were looking for.
Right.
Even specifically, there are 5 major teachings of Jesus in Matthew, and the longest one in all of the Gospels is the Sermon on the Mount.
Right.
And we don't know how long that is, because he could have been talking for hours, we don't know. But what Matthew lays out for us is that the longest piece, and it starts with blessed. Blessed. 9 times Jesus calls something blessed. And I don't know about you, but man, I want to be involved with what Jesus already says is blessed and find out what that is, and then engage him in his blessing for us because of that. So that's really kind of the big reason why.
Yeah. I love how Matthew too, he introduces it, sets it up for the sermon, and then he moves on to show, now this is what it looks like. Jesus is our model for how to live in the kingdom. How do we live this kingdom blessed life?
Right.
And he just demonstrated that with the rest of the gospel.
Yes, and it's a great discipleship book, actually. Throughout the ages of the church, it's been used as a discipleship tool because it was a teaching and then a doing. It was that both ends. So.
Right, and I'm hoping that this can be that kind of thing
I sure hope
for
so.
us.
I mean, I hope, and we hope that's a blessing for all of you.
Yeah. So the other thing we were kind of throwing out there was, what do we call this thing?
Yeah, so, you know, historically we had what was called Family Life on Wednesday, or Flow. And so we're thinking, okay, what can we do with Wednesdays? What do we call it that it becomes something familiar? So
so it's all about connecting.
Right, we're thinking
so we
about
threw that out.
Connecting, Wednesday Connect, Wednesday Connections, and then
Jay said, well, wait a minute, why don't we call it Connecting on Wednesdays, which would be Cow.
Right. And so then I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was still,
I think it was me.
It was you. It was just Kim decided.
Kind of corny, but
she says, what if we call it Holy Cow? And we kind of start with a me as we get into, we don't know if we'll do that. But I think maybe Chick-fil-A will, sponsor us at some point. If this goes viral. So our hope together is to deepen ourselves in Scripture and then have this conversation. So sometimes it's me and Kim and Jay, the three of us,
Right.
or we do a small group and we take some time to just wrestle through questions and figure out practical implications.
Right.
So.
And another cool thing is we have this material that's available to us through Right Now Media.
Right.
And we already have that subscription for all of you. You just have to sign up. It's all free. But what we can offer with that is there's videos that you can look at. There's videos that are connected to like small group materials and books and other resources that are just incredible. So we'll also embed in the link a link to that, so that if you want to go even deeper than what our discussion has been and what your small group is doing, there's other videos that we'll include as supplemental material.
And all that is to help us strengthen our connections with each other. That's really the goal of this. And you can help us by not only by watching, so they'll be premiering on Facebook and on YouTube on Wednesdays at 6:30, okay? So you'll be getting notification on that. But what you can do is help us not just by watching, but by letting us know how this is working. So feedback is like critically important.
Yeah.
We want to know if what we're doing is helping you. So let us know so that we can make it better, or we can find another format to draw in these connections, right?
Yep. Yeah, we want to connect deeper in Scripture with God's message for us and how we live, but we also want to connect deeper in community.
Right. So join us this coming Sunday as we start on the Beatitudes, the first blessed are from Jesus at 10:30, both online and in person. And then join us on Wednesday as we unpack a little bit more of that first blessed. And we look forward to seeing you this coming weekend and throughout the week. God bless.